We just watched a playback video. Now we're watching another one. Kanye West is lost and it hurts. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what he said. I didn't really see what he said, but yeah, let's check it out.
That's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
I see good things about her also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
So Kanye over the past month has been saying some really ridiculous and outrageous things, a lot of which were not only on Twitter but also in various interviews. All of this is culminated with an interview he did with Alex Jones yesterday on InfoWars, and boy was it ridiculous. So bad that even Alex Jones himself was like, all right, Kanye, all right, you sure you didn't really mean that? You try to, make sure you kind of guide him down the right path, and Kanye was like, no, this is the path I was going. I know what I meant, man.
I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
Oh man, well, I have to disagree with that.
And a lot of sound bites, let's just say that, a lot of sound bites. I think you all have probably seen a lot of them. There's a lot of things to take away from this. First and foremost, I want to take the approach of Kanye West as like an individual, the things he said. I'm going to say a lot of things in which Kanye says, I'm not going to see him be like those niggas on Twitter be like, you got to really think about it though, man. Really allow him to say what you trying to say.
Out of context.
You took it out of not hilariously though, many of people are taking out of context. I saw Keemstar and people are like quoting what he said, and I'm like, this is such a layup of a thing.
No,
you don't
the
have
first
to take
intro
it out of
clip
context.
could only be taken out of context because they cut to commercial break after.
I know. Because Alex Jones is like, yo, you sure that's what you're gonna say? And he was like, yep. And he's like, all right, let's write this out real quick. We got a commercial break real quick. Yeah, we're gonna go to commercial break. Kanye was just saying things about redacted. We'll call him redacted.
There's a guy from Germany that did awful things to Jewish people. You can't say his. Oh,
That's good.
Yo, so Kanye was saying a bunch of things about redacting. He was claiming that the reason why he has to love him is because he's a Christian. The problem with what he was saying about no, he's saying Kanye's a Christian.
because Kanye's a Christian.
Kanye's
love all
Christian. He has
people.
to love all people.
Got it.
And that's the reason why you get those clips of him saying he loves redacted.
I like Hitler.
I don't like Hitler. And I know you're trying to be shocking with that.
I'm not trying to be shocking. I like Hitler. I do not. The Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the facts of that. And Hitler has a lot of redeeming qualities. And he didn't kill 6 million Jews. That's just like factually incorrect. And Obama was not the first black president. He was another Jewish president.
And the Nazis, in my view, were thugs that shook people down, did a lot of really bad things.
But they did good things too. We're going to stop dissing the Nazis all the time.
Okay.
The problem with Kanye was saying is that he would follow up that statement by then claiming that Redacted did a bunch of things that were positive to the world, such as invent highways and microphones. But you do any type of research and you realize that's just not true.
Also, it's like it's so impersonal the way he describes Redacted lived his life.
Yes.
Because if Redacted annihilated your entire family tree,
You
then
wouldn't
I don't
be
think
sitting
you'd be
there saying-
congratulating
Yeah,
him
you're like-
on. You would probably feel some type of way if somebody was glorifying him.
No, now he did say he loves the surgeon that gave the surgery to his mother that many people believe caused her death, her untimely death. So I don't know. He's on this
Of love all people.
Love all people.
So that's an interesting approach because one, it is Christian to love all people. It is kind of what is taught. I don't know if in practice anyone's ever loved really all people,
no.
but that's what Kanye's attempting to do here, taking everything verbatim. But the part where he's missing is like he's attributing a lot of growth and success to Redacted, when in all reality, the attribution should be to war. War almost always comes with plenty of technological advances because you're highly incentivized to want to annihilate whatever your opponent is.
And Redacted was not pushing that. Actually, the things that he claimed, like the highway and microphones existed, like before Redacted was even in the army, before he was well known, before he had any influence on the world. I have no idea what Kanye's talking about at all.
And it's like wars in general push shit forward. The Cold War pushed shit forward. Any type of war pushed shit forward. Because by that logic, let's just have more wars while we love all people. You can't do that. The idea of war is like people's lives end. Like threats are made. Like countries can fall apart. Like people get conquered and land gets conquered and fucked up things happen. It doesn't happen out of love. So love all people can't happen if it's coming at the cost of human lives. That's not what love is. One. Two, in Germany at the time, there were plenty of companies benefiting dramatically from the war, like Volkswagen. And Volkswagen owns an entire tree of companies. companies. Volkswagen's not the only one. There's plenty of companies that got their starts back when World War II was going on.
Yeah.
So it is interesting how like he has like a nugget of potential truth. Like this man invented this, or this man was the reason why this became the thing. And maybe that was good for the world. By ignoring the overwhelming amount of negative that came with that, it's like you're almost in opposition of love. And so I think that's where the fucking difference is here. And I don't believe if Kanye was personally affected by Redacted that he would be showing as much love as he is right now.
He said that the same thing with the surgeon. He said that the surgeon that potentially may have. I mean, that's what I'm just telling you. That's what he said.
That's cope.
I know, but I'm just
we
telling
call
you
that copium.
I know,
and that's tough. Like what happened to his mother is highly unfortunate.
I get that, but that's what he said.
It looks like that affected him in way more ways than we could probably count.
Yes.
Kanye is
what happened to Kanye's mom? Probably spell his name wrong. Up into his mom. They take her to the hospital. Donda was pronounced dead. She was 58 years old. It was later discovered that pre-existing heart condition likely led to her death. 12 days later, tearful voice returned to the stage, dedicated his song "Hey Mom" to his late mother. When was this? On November 7th, 2007. Really? I didn't know that.
He run up on me.
Evolved to the point where he will hear a truth, a fact, and he'll use that fact to justify a very crazy belief. But it's almost as if he's trying to get people talking. Like he could have just said, "I love all people. I even love you, Alex Jones, considering all the things you did." But he went to the most extreme.
Yes.
I can't think of a more extreme person, maybe Mao, maybe Stalin, than Redacted. I can't, bro. He's one of the worst in history.
And so the same thing. He did the same thing even with the quote unquote Jewish media argument as well, because that was a conversation that was had for like a month. The problem with even that logic is the same thing, is that there may be some truth behind it, but it's misplaced in the much bigger picture, which is like, y'all, especially when people sit there and say like, this person is a Jew and that person's a Jew, that person's a Jew, and that's the problem right there. It's too many. Like, no, the problem isn't that these people are Jewish. The problem is that they're capitalists. Like that's how capitalism works. So the argument of these Jewish hierarchy people who messed up these contracts for me and my people, who got us all messed up, and now we owe them money, and then we in these ass backward contracts. The reality is that it doesn't matter that person's Jewish, Christian, black, or white, because from my understanding, Kanye, you also put people in fucked up contracts. From my understanding, Kanye, you was also participating in several things that may have fucked over people as well. So the reality is it had nothing to do, literally nothing to do with Jewish people. It has everything to do with capitalism. But once more, like you said, some facts that may become behind it, some small little truths or nuggets of truths, and then you then extract that and then come to some crazy conclusion without actually addressing the real concerns. And the reason why that's problematic is not only because that can breed hate in many ways, but more importantly, it also misguides other people from also being taken advantage of or just being misinformed. So now if you running around thinking to yourself, I ain't gonna mess with Jewish people, I ain't gonna mess because they do X, Y, Z, then you mess around with somebody who's black, who's white, a woman, a man, because you think you're trying to exclude the people who hurt you, and come to find out those people are just inclined to take advantage of you because you're capitalist. Like, that's just how that works. But that's the problem with not only Kanye, but a lot of people on the internet right now, where they think that they're truth seekers, and then they are completely misguided by like small bits of information. Yeah. Like very, very, very small bits of information. And normally on YouTube, you can get away with it, especially when you're a smaller creator, but like Kanye is to a point where he's just too big of a platform to be walking around spewing rhetoric that just isn't based in reality, or is just loosely based in reality.
And the interesting thing about that is Kanye is one of the very few human beings on planet Earth that get this much understanding. In the past, I've even laughed at something Kanye said.
Oh my God, that's a great quote.
I've laughed at shit he said in interviews, and then years went by and turns out he was right. So I kind of learned to take a step back and really listen to what he's saying to try and understand. And after taking a day to just understand, this nigga went on Twitter, made his Twitter profile picture a swastika with the Star of David, and he eventually got banned from there. Trying to understand what he's doing, I think he's devolved dramatically in the past decade. And he's been saying and doing a lot of crazy things that maybe are worth listening to in attempt to understand. It doesn't mean you have to agree, but he's one of the few people on the planet that get this level of understanding from people, where no matter what he says, everyone's gonna stop to be like, hey, hold on, let's put it in context and think about it like this. Was he really wrong?
I don't even really mind. I don't really mind putting it into context, because I'd much rather people do that.
I just don't believe the people that are doing that with Kanye
I agree.
do that with anybody else.
They don't.
They don't, bro.
But so the reason why I say I don't mind it is because if you don't do that, then it further gaslights and put fuels in the flames of all these people who are thinking like, oh, they're out to get us. Oh, look at how, like, because if you're gonna sit here and allow somebody to quote unquote say the Jewish media, and then if you go get headlines of them taking them out of context, in their mind they're gonna be like, see, they just did it again. So I don't mind putting things into context when necessary, especially when somebody who is living on the edge and believing all of these conspiracy theories, taking the time out to put them in proper context to then later just prove them wrong still with all of the context is actually much more impactful and powerful, because then that person has to sit back and reflect and come back with some other cockamamie ridiculous excuse or a reason to why they said those things, or they actually have to adjust themselves because there actually there is no logic behind what they were saying before. And I think, to be fair, I agree with you that we don't give that much understanding to anyone else. Like, there's a handful of people where we'll sit there and say, hold on now, let's give him a second now. I think Dave Chappelle is also there, but he just ain't on that side.
Dave Chappelle makes jokes about complicated topics. Kanye is just
but I think there's a subsection of people who like, hold on now, we gotta hear Dave out now.
No, I agree. I'm with those subsection though.
Yeah.
Because he's making jokes about articulate subjects.
But that's the difference. That he's actually making sense.
Kanye's just saying things to get reactions. It's completely different things here. Yeah, bro, y'all niggas not giving other people a chance the way y'all giving Kanye a chance, but I actually want it that way though. I feel like trying to understand people is how you bridge the difference between opinions, and if you're not trying to do that, then you're not helping move shit forward. But there comes a point where a nigga just says something so crazy and does something so crazy, even in attempt to understanding, you just come to a deeper realization that they're fucked up in the head. Facts. And they should probably seek help. Yeah, bro, you can sit there and flip it whichever way you want, bro, but putting a swastika on your fucking Twitter page is goddamn crazy. It's crazy.
I didn't know why he got banned.
Insensitive to the people that fucking had to deal with that shit decades ago, man. Yo, but you think this shit happened thousands of years ago? Bro, what happened like 80 years ago, 70 years ago?
It did not happen that long
It's not that long ago, man.
I think it's right near 100.
And with a guy with this much influence, you can't allow so many people to be like, maybe he wasn't that bad. Because I don't think that's what Kanye thinks. I think Kanye's a bad communicator, but Kanye doesn't think he wasn't that bad. He just recognizes that some good came with him, but he also recognizes all the bad that came with him. And in an attempt to come up with the craziest possible talkable fucking thing he could say on a podcast, that's what he said. But Kanye is leading people to a realization that is wildly inaccurate and also fucking dangerous, dog.
Yeah.
You don't normalize that shit. Can you imagine if niggas started normalizing like a nigga who killed like thousands of slaves, something like that, in the transatlantic slave trade? Yo, bro, I'd be like, yo, stop doing that. That nigga's a horrible person. I don't give a fuck if he built a road, nigga. You know when Italy came to Ethiopia? My grandma told me like they were just building roads and shit like that. That was her memory of it. She was a child back then. But if you look at history and you see the shit they did, there's some fucked up shit that happened when European countries went into Africa. If you sit there and you pretend like what he's doing is not dangerous, then you're kind of being a little delusional and you're being a little naive as well, because he has a lot of influence, and it's good that he's a free thinker, and it's good that he's allowing himself to come to his own conclusions and that he's comfortable fighting against the grain. There comes a point, and it's something he recognized a few weeks ago, where after he said some shit, he was like, damn, I did realize the words I said were kind of dangerous, but now here he is doing it again. You can't convince me this guy is completely mentally stable. I sit there and I could try my hardest to understand where he's coming from, but yeah, bro, like there's no real excuse for what he did this time. There's no level of understanding or context that's gonna make it okay. And in this situation right here, if you can't admit Kanye was fucking wrong, then in all reality, you're just a fan of him.
It's also very contradictory of the things in which he was just going on a rant about last month, where he was talking about like technically speaking, if he was to love everybody even through the bad, and you can highlight the good thing which they did throughout the bad, then what were you complaining for last month, and why are you still complaining about the quote-unquote Jewish media? Because even with the negative they did, they definitely produced a lot of positive as well. So by your own logic, you shouldn't even be saying anything about anyone. And the reason why it's even more damning is because even when they were sitting there talking about Redacted, he would immediately say, yeah, but Barack Obama killed people. And I'm like, I understand what you're saying, and it sounds like, oh man, it's so complex in what he's saying, and it's so deep, and Barack Obama did.
You know what I think?
And all he's gonna give people is like, but he didn't lie now, did he?
So that's what he does though. He gets these like underrated nuggets of truth.
Yes.
Barack was fucking a serial bomber.
Yes, he was.
Like, and I talked to a lot of black people here in Atlanta that sit there and support him.
That's
And when I
good.
asked them, like, are you okay
I
with
didn't know
like
that.
how many civilians he killed when he called it collateral? That's a conversation niggas not ready to have.
They're not.
Bro, they're not ready to have it. They just support him because he's black. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But Kanye will find this nugget of truth and be like, he killed a lot of innocent people in an attempt to get some teas, should I say, because Susan might be watching, in other parts of the world, and it's fucked up. And so he could sit there and shine a light on the shit, but then in the process of doing, I don't know, it's just, history is complicated. There's a lot of hidden truths in history because the victor usually tries to hide the truth. They're the one who tell the story.
Facts.
So it's important to have an accurate tell of what happened and when it happened.
Or at least just tell like the truth. Like, don't say that somebody created microphones and highways and they just didn't.
And so,
like
so that's the microphone I used to build my career. So credit to him.
No. Like, and which isn't the case. So that's what happened with that. And also a little bit touching on the stuff that happened a month ago. I know people want us to talk about it. All that stuff to me is just Kanye. He is just grabbing for straws and is trying to just hang on as long as he can to arguments based off of like very small and semi-irrelevant facts. So that's that. Then he went on Twitter and was just spazzing. Not only I think also kind of bridging off of what's been going on with him. He not only lost a custody battle, but has to pay Kim Kardashian $200,000 a month to a billionaire, which is crazy.
And
child support.
And he had to give up that house he bought right beside her house.
Yes, then he had to give that up. Which again, I mean, y'all, you know how we feel about somebody as wealthy as Kim Kardashian receiving child support.
It's fucking nuts.
That is
Jesus.
That is insane. But hey, it is what it is. Very ironic because of songs in which he wrote in the early stage of his career.
18 years. 18 years.
Wait, did you see the thing that he went on Twitter where he said, I saw Chris Paul with. Come on, like, what are you doing? So he, I think that's impacting his life as well. Then he also lost the Adidas deal, all that other stuff. So like, Kanye is just like
going through a lot.
He's going through a lot, and a part of me, only reason why I'm willing to give this much leeway, this from my point of view, is because I have people in my family have mental disorders and mental issues as well. So I understand like there's a lot of times in which they can be misunderstood. There's a lot of things they could be saying is also factually correct and just cannot properly communicate it. But when you get to the point in which Kanye is at right now, it is like very, very, very clear that not only is he being heavily influenced by certain people, which is a shame because this is someone who claims and has really had a track record of having a sound decision making of what he wants to do. But then when you kind of go back and relive a lot of the things that he's done, I'm starting to just get more. I think he was just a contrarian his entire career. That's starting to be more of the reality but he was still genius enough to make some of it work. But I think he's just more of a contrarian. I don't think he was that much of a visionary as much as people may say. I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying he's not as much as one. But he's definitely a visionary. But I don't think he was as much.
I think a lot of people just ran out of he made 808s and he made college dropouts and he made graduations. I think niggas is running out of those, man.
He ran out of albums to cover that up, man. He ran out of albums.
He did make late registration.
Yeah, man, but man, he did say.
I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
Yo, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button as well. Membership is down below. We recorded some extra content. There's definitely things in this video we said that we probably can't upload.
Like what?
So, nigga, that's still. Come on, I'm trying to.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, you're right.
Come on, dog.
Below, so I can see what they're trying to say. Oh, Kanye, to me, he's really mythical genius and can see the future, especially how throughout he's always evolving with what generation we're in. But I can't stand that nonsense that he's trying to sound smart but ends up saying fucked up things. I always would have respect for his music speaking about the mainstream media and his life, his upbringing and who he is, but it just hurts because his music helped me through a lot. Almost dying, damn, losing his mom, going crazy. Nearly 2 decades. Interesting points. Let me know what you guys think about it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.